It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you go to show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you'd put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Yo, welcome back to the Resupply with me, guy next door.
Me, DK with working technology.
And me, fan from a hotel room in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Did you blacklight your sheets?
No.
Sorry, what I meant to say
Why-
was bringing you your weekly update of everything Laser Force and Space Marines. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. We're back. 2.5 of us. Than's on holiday, so he's like just barely here.
I'm barely here when I'm here, so, you know.
What
Yeah, it's not different.
What amazes me is because then you're on your phone, so obviously you can't see the stream.
Correct.
We may have renamed you this week.
What the fuck did you do?
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. How was everyone's
Oh,
week?
Well, obviously, my week has been fucking fantastic. Steve-O, you look like you got attacked by a fucking vampire, so
Yeah, shit.
maybe
Awful.
maybe you should start, because, yeah, you look the worst for wear between the three of us.
Well, so I've been hobbling around all week. After Tuesday night where we did our inaugural. That's not the right word. Our first. What's that? What's fancy word for first?
Inaugural.
Inaugural.
Inaugural. Okay, just nailed it.
have all
you had
the
it
words
right the first time.
here on the resupply.
Where's my edit hammer? Yeah. So after we had
You gave that
our
up.
our first Laser Force live session, which I think were pretty cool. We'll talk about that shortly. The next day I had to go and like have minor surgery, as they put it. And holy shit, man, they cut a very large piece of me out of my back and then a smaller piece out of my neck right here. So it was a great Wednesday. And I sent you boys the pictures, right?
Unfortunately,
yeah.
yes.
Oof.
Yeah, they were pretty goddamn fantastic, bro.
Clean,
Seriously.
man, real clean cuts. Like, I'm glad that that the doc seemingly did a pretty good job. We'll see what happens once I actually heal, because I'm hoping for badass pirate scars.
Aren't we all?
But that was my kind of week. Oh, and also it was my wife's birthday, and we had fun celebrating that. So happy birthday, Dan. If you're watching, I don't think she's watching. I think she's been productive.
Why would she watch this? I mean, seriously, bro.
Yeah, she's like,
Boost those stats.
but yeah, otherwise, yeah, pretty mixed bag week, but overall pretty good. How was your vacation?
Honestly,
Yeah.
My vacation has been fucking awesome.
You look relaxed.
Honestly, okay, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way first. Colorado is not New Zealand in any way, shape, or form. And the only reason that I'm here is because, we're obviously not going to New Zealand because
Boo.
fuck you, COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, because reasons. Having said that, Colorado is definitely, if you like getting out into the outdoors, which both my wife and I do, and you like doing, that sort of outdoorsy hiking type shit, which again, we do. Yeah, it's been a super fantastic week. I mean, I know, most of you watching this that are probably watching the stream, because I can't see, because I'm on my phone. I can't see who is in Twitch right now, mocking the shit out of me, because I'm sure that's happening.
Speaking of which, hi chat. Nice to have everyone with us.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Chuck us a howdy if you're watching, or if you're looking. Sorry,
Do all the
continue.
things. Yeah, it's fine. So day one of being here, people have seen the pictures, or should have seen the pictures by now, of me, and my wife dancing with wolves, essentially. I don't know what the fuck else to call it. I mean, we literally went to a wolf sanctuary and paid a fairly significant chunk of money. And if anybody is curious as to how much it actually cost, you can PM me and I'll tell you. To have this essentially one-on-one direct interaction with a pair of the wolves that were at this wolf sanctuary.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, that was the first day of vacation. It was the high point of the entire vacation, which is not to say the rest of the vacation has been bad, because it hasn't been. But how the fuck do you top that?
Yeah, man.
I mean, seriously, it was super fucking awesome.
Well, if you're lost for words at how to describe it, I think DK came up with the perfect term. You wanna?
Oh fuck.
So we're so glad that you used the phrase, because as you're appearing on screen this week, you are Dances with Wolves.
So good.
Oh, I fucking hate you both so much, and I
No
love
way.
you both so much. So
if you're searching for a new tattoo,
We wouldn't have it any other way.
that's right.
you guys can eat all the dicks. Yeah, that's pretty fucking genius.
That
I'm not
was
gonna lie.
Comedic gold, is what that was.
Yeah, no,
I'm just so
that's
impressed you
pretty-
actually said it. It made it so much better.
Well, I figured how could I not, given that I know you guys had already given me some shit about it, so it's fine.
I talked about it. Did you see my stream on Monday before Lasers? I sort of brought it up then. because I had like
I was on. Yeah.
I literally
No,
just seen your
I didn't.
photos and was just like, I've never seen you so happy or like smile so like I've never seen you with such a large smile in a photograph than the one of you hanging out with wolves. And
I take that back. I did see it because Maniac linked it to me. He's like, "Hey, look at this." I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair." I mean, the reality is, yeah, I don't typically smile all that much. That's fairly accurate.
yeah,
But yeah, it was definitely one of those things that, quite honestly, we had kind of ummed and awed about doing the thing that we actually did
Yeah.
or not, because we were always going to go and do just the general tour, and the general tour in itself was pretty fucking awesome.
yeah,
But we'd hand it on. It's like, do we want to do this? Do we want to spend the money? Do we not? And we finally decided, fuck it. Let's just throw down and do the thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, super fantastic, super awesome.
that's a good way to get yourself eaten by wolves.
Well, I mean, yes, but it's funny because obviously to do this, they do make you sign a waiver, obviously.
If you get
And
attacked.
essentially, that's pretty much like, if you're actually reading between the lines on what the waiver says, it pretty much says that if the wolves eat you, it's your fault, and fuck you.
Maybe
That's pretty much what the waiver says.
try smelling less delicious.
It's just a good rule for life.
Yeah.
You know, when the sign says $20 to feed the wolves, usually that's not what it means. But
I mean, yeah.
Who's Ducky?
But so-
Who have you been referring to? Ducky says that his hair isn't long enough. I'm going to assume he's talking about you, then. I think he might just be jealous though, because look at
it's not out of the question.
luscious.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
Shiva,
that-
we're all jealous. We're all jealous of your hair. So fuck you.
Except for Al, who for some reason keeps just giving me shit. Whatever, man. Grow some locks. Fucking Zashier piece of shit. So it was good then. It's been a good vacation.
Yeah, but I mean, starting it out that way was pretty fantastic, and there's some roads that just happened, I'm sure, and yeah, just being able to get out and do some hiking and do some other touristy stuff, as you do when
As you
you're
do.
on vacation. Yeah, it was definitely it was good, it was needed.
How does that work though?
yeah,
Because I thought
yeah.
you guys are still on lockdown, or is that not the case? It just kind of
In the
depends.
States,
Oh man.
lockdown is very relative, my friend.
Yeah, so literally while I've been gone, the governor of Texas put out an order basically saying, yeah, if your county has more than 20 cases of COVID, you need to wear a mask in public. The county that I live in, the sheriff has come out and said, I'm not enforcing this, so whatever. So that should give you some idea of how that's going. Colorado, I mean, it's definitely kind of in the, if you're in public, in the store, it's like most places are like, please wear a mask. Some places are like, wear a mask or don't fucking come in. I mean, it's been pretty like chill and easy here for the most part. It's like, obviously you're out in open spaces,
Yeah.
no mask, whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody's socially distancing, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Inside stores, like I want to say like between like 3/4 and 80% of people are wearing masks here. So okay, but yeah, no, Texas is a whole other bag of shit.
Yeah.
And there is a reason why it's one of the states where the cases are spiking ridiculously. So
I'm so glad I
don't know
live here. I'm so lucky we live here.
Hey, man. Don't knock the USA. We put the dumb back in freedom,
yeah.
Yeah, we have like very small amounts of COVID, and we have Laser Force. So we live in the good life here.
Oh, what's that? Oh, I'm getting the green screen of death.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta go, Steve.
Look,
Enjoy
what
your forehead, you piece of shit.
DK? What did you do this week? You played D&D, I hear.
Yeah, my life is not nearly as exciting as the rest of you. I did not dance with wolves or get my throat slashed or anything like that. But I did get to play in like 3 different D&D games.
Well,
we
you
had
could.
our game on Saturday.
Yeah.
I was playing with some of the LTC crew on Tuesday, and then just last night I was playing a game with some other peeps, including one Wolfman from Detroit. What's up if you're watching, Wolfman? That was
What
some
up,
good
dog?
times.
He
Yeah, that has been the nice thing, is that being indoors so much lately has given me a chance to play more D&D with more people in lots of different areas of the country and the world. So we're still staying connected in our own way.
Wolfman's new to D&D, right? I think he said that this is his first campaign. Yeah. I think he's
Much like you. He's
Yeah.
having a very good time.
Yeah. It's so much fun. They should. I wish they had this when I was growing up.
Well, they did. It
just
just
weren't
wasn't
hanging-
cool back then.
Yeah, you weren't hanging around the right people, apparently.
You know what?
how that
Actually,
works.
I think so there was a bunch of cats that I was friends with that did play. Just never got the invite. That's some bullshit. I'm not a very social person, so it's probably okay.
Yeah, that's
Back in the day, you weren't
fair.
a real D&D player unless you got beat up for your lunch money on the way to go play.
That's why they all stay skinny and like afraid of sunlight. Hashtag stereotypes. Anyway, yeah. So
That transitioned right into Laser Force, so it was perfect.
actually, before we get there, so we've had our first kind of I'm gonna say second milestone as a Twitch channel, and we hit affiliate status this week, which is cool. Well done, boys.
Yay!
I think part of it, the probably the biggest thing for us is that obviously we already have a built-in audience with you guys that already like listen to our stuff on the semi-rig, and don't mind apparently looking at our faces, or at least listening to our faces.
Which is
so-
super weird because we're all fucking ugly. So why do you want to look at us? Well,
Again, like
we all have
just
amazing voices.
close the screen down.
Why do you want to look at us?
Yeah. But yeah, we hit affiliate, so we're gonna start trying to figure out what that actually means over the next little while. I think I had a look into some stuff. You've been listening to, not seen. Games more important. Yeah, well, fair enough.
True.
But yeah, it means that maybe we're gonna have the ability to add some like cool custom shit. I hear emotes are a thing that kids use. That we can give to people who pay us money. That's my understanding of what affiliated means. So.
Yeah, there are certain things you can do as an affiliate channel that isn't open to just everybody. In the immediate term, I'm hoping it doesn't mean much of a change for the viewership. You guys might have to watch a few more ads on the VODs. I don't know if those were there before or not. We were just discussing that before the stream. But if any of our viewers have an Amazon Prime subscription and you are not subscribed to a Twitch channel currently, you get 1 free subscription every month. So if you want to support your local Resupply, hint, hint, you can do so for free. No cost to you if you just look up, Twitch Prime, how to support a channel, something like that. I'm sure we can post a description in the Discord or something like that on how to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're not under any obligation. If you're already supporting another Twitch channel, no problem. Don't feel like you have to throw us money or anything. But hey, if you have Amazon Prime, you're not doing anything with it, why not do us a solid?
I'm so glad that like you can articulately say that, where I'll just be like, hey, give us all your money.
Give us some money.
Shawnee said, I'm questioning my decision to come and stare at your faces. I mean, at least you're here
Fair.
rather than just lurking and staring at our faces from the bushes.
Because
Yeah.
because that's creepy.
Yeah. Don't be creepy, kids.
Ish.
But-
be creepy, whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
whatever floats your boat. I did happen to play around with some what they call widgets. So if we happen to get if somebody happens to follow us during the stream, you'll see the little follow animation. That's the only one I've kind of played with, but if it happens to pop up, I quite enjoy it. So that'll be a nice treat when it happens. But yeah.
Why would anybody voluntarily follow us?
Well, I mean, 60 people
We've had
already
over
have.
50 people. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had over 50. That's what you need to be an affiliate.
Hang on. Let me rephrase that. Why would anybody else, now that we've moved our entire audience,
Yeah.
voluntarily follow us? I should have been more clear about what I was saying there.
We
Hey, man, we have multiple games now. We're branching into the D&D world. We have multi-platform appeal, so
That's
you
right.
never know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Some things you can do is this. Well played. Oh, redeemed highlight my message for what have we called our little, I don't know what they're called, little bucks, channel points. I'm gonna rename that. Maybe
Oh
we'll
yeah, they got to be like shots or lives or something like that, right?
Yeah,
or
some
special
Or
points.
or special points.
special points. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out how
Come
to.
on.
I'm gonna figure out how to
Yeah.
change that to special points, or someone who's more knowledgeable. So we'll try and think of some cool stuff that you can redeem your special points for. If you've got any ideas, feel free to chuck them in the Discord, because sometimes I'm very bereft of ideas. Because we're your friends. I'm your friend, Al. Oh shit! What was I was gonna say a different thing, but then I got distracted. That's okay.
That's
Too many shiny things.
shocking.
It wasn't your fault.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember. So, if you didn't already see, this is technically the Resupply's episode number 69, which I'm super glad that nice. 69 is the episode we're affiliated from, so that's fitting almost.
Double nice.
Double nice. But you're right, DK. We've got a few streams on the go now. We obviously the Resupply's on the weekly now. D&D is going to be every other week, so not tomorrow, but next weekend. We have Laser Force Live Tuesdays. I'm hoping that'll become a thing. The stream needs more Zashier. And then coming this Thursday will be the debut of the new stream called Thunderdome Thursdays, which I'm really looking forward to. So come and hang out on Thursday and see me and my friend Gray, aka Andros Mac. We're gonna play some games, and hopefully I can embarrass him on the internet.
Or vice versa.
Or vice
Something
versa.
like that.
Vice versa seems a little more likely.
Well, so that's the thing. Like me and him play a bunch of like sports games anyway, and for the most part, I managed to fluke my way into winning most of them. So, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. We only rage quit on a few occasions, so we'll see what happens. I think that's all.
Those occasions are called Thursdays.
Huh?
Those occasions are called Thursdays.
Yeah, fuck. Right, I think that's all the housekeeping out the way. Is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up?
Not in
DK,
terms
I
of
love how our
housekeeping.
Dances with Wolves.
I love how our housekeeping takes the first 25 minutes of the show. That's awesome.
Oh man, we gotta just milk it for all it's worth.
Killing time
Apparently.
here.
Quality content is what you come here for. So we did want to talk about some Laser Force specific stuff, and we've kind of been. You enjoy the banter. We try and make the banter enjoyable. Yeah, so we've been
No, we
talking
don't.
for a couple of weeks about other forms of tag, because this is something that we at Laser Force discuss, and I'm a big sort of preacher of playing laser tag in general, but there's a lot of times, I don't know if it's the case whenever whoever else out there actually gets to play Laser Force. When you guys have a members night, we find that if we end up playing something other than Space 5, we get a lot of people that will sit out a game, and so it gets to the point where we're either playing Space 5 or we're not playing at all. And I think it's a shame, because I think there are a lot of merits to actually playing some of the other game modes. Not all the other game modes, but a few of them.
Yeah.
But
Accurate.
What he says, racists. But I wanted to like get your guys' take on it, because it's something that, like, again, I can wax poetic about, but it's always good to get other people, especially old people's viewpoints on things.
Welcome to the senior forum, everybody. We're gonna learn about what laser tag was like back in the day.
One of the worst parts about living on a busy road is all the drive-bys that happen.
That means something very different in New Zealand than it does in the States. I think.
Yeah, we just get insults hurled. It's because a lot of the games ruin and Laser Force upgrades. Ooh, that's an interesting point of view, Ducky. I don't know how long ago you played D&D, but it got real good recently with the generator upgrades. Specifically how you spellcast. It's awesome. But yeah, I wanted to pick your guys' brains on like how you guys kind of approach that and what your individual viewpoints are.
Well, once upon a time, when Sacramento had a laser tag site and LTC was a thing, it was generally our habit that until we had 12 people get there, or sometimes before we had 10 people get there, we would play some kind of warm-up game that wasn't Space Marines 5, because, hey, we didn't have enough to play proper Space Marines, so let's play something else. And it would just usually be some kind of random game. But I'd usually have a kind of selection of favorites that would be in there. But I totally understand if you have 12 people or even 10 people, why wouldn't you play Space Marines? It's a great thing to do. But if you don't have that many, yeah, why not explore other parts of the catalog? And I know that I've been quoted on a number of occasions as saying that if it's not Space Marines, it's just masturbation. But by the same token, kids, I mean, masturbation isn't bad. I'm not taking an anti-masturbation stance by any stretch of the imagination. That is a necessary component of life. Sometimes you gotta play some non-Space Marines games, or I'm gonna go ahead and stop the analogy right there.
Or defile a hotel bed. Is that right then?
Well, it could be a shame to sacrifice all that extra cleaning that they're doing for COVID preparations.
So side noting on that, so yeah, they're actually way understaffed. So literally, the housekeeping hasn't been in our room since we got here.
So you've kept the sheets clean just in case.
Totally. Yeah. We'll go with that.
Just burn them.
I could kind of see that too. If anything, I would kind of prefer that they not be cleaning if they're having the same guests in all the time, because I don't want people coming in and out of the room every day. But as long as they do a nice thorough clean in between guests
after we leave, yeah. And the reality is that, like, whenever we travel, like, we deliberately do don't come into our fucking room until we leave. Just if we need something, we'll let you know, but until then, go away.
Don't touch my things.
Getting back to the subject at hand.
Masturbation?
Hey, that's
episode 69.
Yeah, nice. That is a great handy subject. But as far as lasers and not playing Space 5, I mean, I've admittedly been that Space 5 snob a few times, probably more than a few times. But Rusty actually said something many years ago that, like, once I kind of thought it through, really made sense. Like, you can learn every game of Laser Force that you play is an opportunity to work on some aspect of your game, even if it's a standard game. And what he meant by that was quite literally, like, if you're level 6 in a game with, 50 level 1s, because you're in Brisbane, you're getting a lot of practice taking down 3 hits. Obviously, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, from standard to Space 5 in that regard. But the idea is there in that you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to understand, where the reset time is on people. You have to understand, there's a whole bunch of things that, you can actually work on that will help your Space 5 game, even in something as mundane as a standard game. And and you can apply that to pretty much any game within the Laser Force canon. I think really the exception to all of this is Wabbit Season, because fuck that game. But pretty much every other game within the system, there's always there's arena awareness that you can gain from it. There's just all this general stuff that I just was so very articulate saying fuck, that you can then apply to your Space 5 game. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely good reasons to actually play something not Space 5 when you don't have the numbers. Now, again, though, yeah, if you're at 10 or 12 people, y'all motherfuckers better be playing Space 5, because fuck you, that's why.
I'd like to chuck some D&D in there, like, even if we have 10.
I was about to say, I guess you can throw the occasional D&D in, especially if, as you say, with Gen 8, it's become less of a clusterfuck. I mean, that game is always a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can actually like cast quickly now, that's
crazy, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
If I was going to be at a site in, a couple of weeks that had Gen 8 that I could actually try it on, that would have been really cool, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So.
Photon used to be awesome. I mean, Photon was fun.
Photon is awesome.
Like, honestly, of the non-Space Marines 5 games, Photon Emulation is one of my favorite games.
Really?
And I
agreed. Same.
tend to actually preach to a lot of players that I've been around regarding Space Marines 5 that Photon is a great training game for that, because it really teaches you the value of, when you're down, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Don't stand around and keep getting shot, because you will lose points, and it's going to be reflected directly in your score. It's reflected in a Space Marines 5 score if your hit diff is shit and you're just getting torn up left and right, but not to the same degree it is in Photon. In Photon, the whole world will know if your hit diff was crappy and you got the shit kicked out of you, because you're going to have a negative score and other people are going to have lots of bragging rights over you. Between that, the slow shot speed, and just the kind of overall strategizing of the game, I really enjoyed Photon Emulation.
Hey,
and
just
at only 7.5 minutes, I think it's a perfect run time anyway.
Just quickly, I want to give a massive shout out to Hoodlum, because he has become the Resupply's first sub. Thank you very much, sir.
Goodness.
I really appreciate it. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I'll look this week into putting together some like fancy emotes, because I think that'll make it like actually worthwhile to be a Resupply sub. So thanks, bro. We really appreciate it. I don't know if the thingy popped up. Did the thingy pop up? Chat confirm if the little thingy popped up.
Did the thingy pop up on
Masturbation?
episode
What?
69. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I never really like thought about Photon that kind of way, but you're right. Like especially like the not standing around to get reset. Like that's I mean, it makes sense, right? All the love
Not
boys.
saying you don't have to reset, and planning out sometimes if you need to set up a reset chain on somebody else, like what is your order of operations? Because that was something I was stressing to people when they were playing Resupply, is too many players were getting flustered when a 3-hit would come in and just refuse to leave. And I said, no, look, if you guys time this right, as long as you have somebody else there, you can keep them down pretty much indefinitely, or at least until you can get some help come back to you. There's no reason to panic just because a downed 3-hit comes in.
I have a on my shelf just over there. I have a boxed photon home set. I was gonna try and bring it down, but this thing is fucking huge, and it's like there's a lot of other boxes. I got a couple of lock-on sets and some other like console boxes and shit that are on top of it. But at some point, I'll bring it down and show it off because it's pretty cool. It's got. I haven't actually had a play with it. But I did have a look in the box, and it comes with the helmets.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Yeah, it has the helmets and the battery packs and obviously the phasers and stuff. So, yeah, cool.
Hey, you have to respect the grandfather of Laser Force.
Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely.
You just do.
Fossil, sort of.
It belongs in a museum.
So I fully admit, though, that my passion for Photon was not widely shared among the SAC player base. I had a couple of people who were kind of okay with it, but yeah, Than, you were probably the only other person who was actually really into Photon.
What kind of moves slowly, right? Like it's a slow-moving game.
It is.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I would not describe it as slow moving.
Right. Maybe we just play it wrong.
Quite possibly. I mean, the Brisbane Arena before all of its fuckery, because
before the mini golf.
Quite honestly, guys, the arena now after the addition of the mini golf and the fucking death stairs. I'm sorry, Briz. Your arena has literally gone from my favorite non-Sacramento arena to what the fuck is this noise? Anyway, I digress. So the Brisbane Arena,
yeah, I reckon.
Yeah,
they're like, yeah, well, we get to play there on the regular, so fuck you.
Accurate. But the Brisbane Arena is actually a modified photon field, which again, shocking if you know any of the history. And the way photon fields were built is that they were built to be as symmetrical as possible, obviously allowing for spaces being not symmetrical throughout the whole area that you had to build the arena for. But they were built to be symmetrical, and so that you were able to run. Like that was a huge thing with the original Photon tournament scenes and whatnot. Like the whole thing was you could run, and you had to run, and you had you had to get from point A to point B very quickly to obviously avoid getting continually hit while you were down and completely vulnerable. So yeah, Photon while it does have the slow shot speed, it's not meant to be played at a slow pace. It is meant to be played at a very very cracking pace, for lack of a better word there. It's you are meant to be moving. You are meant to be running hither and yon. Now that was helped by the fact that it was helmet suits, so if you went head to head with somebody around a corner, the helmets caught it, not necessarily you. So there's obviously some hardware differences there that help contribute to that. But yeah, I mean it's not intended to be a slow game in any way, shape, or form.
Which was one reason I used to like it a lot as a warm-up game, because it really did kind of get the blood moving, warm up all the muscles, and was kind of that nice little cardio boost right at the start of the night.
Right.
But
especially in like bigger arenas like LTC was and Brisbane is.
When we used to play, usually because we'd only have probably 6 to 8 people because it was a warm-up game. We usually just play it downstairs only, which honestly made it even more hectic because you only had so much space to go, and it was really crucial that you got away from other people.
Right.
I miss those.
So Ducky said,
All right.
Ducky said in the chat, you have to understand the mechanics of it to get full advantage of it. It takes more to play than a regular standard game.
True. Accurate.
Yeah, it's probably I think maybe because we missed out on Photon, I guess. Although, I mean, I suppose most people were playing like Photon emulation that would have played it, right?
How old do you think I actually am?
We're like the same age, right? Yeah, but Thances with Wolves, he might have played the OG Photon. You didn't either.
Did not.
I wonder who would have on the scene.
Photon on in MR scene. No.
Traj.
Traj and Scorpion would have played the original stuff that the original bastardized version of it. But as far as like players within the U.S. community, I mean, there's a couple of the Geddon players that played it, but like we're talking like when Photon kind of died was like the late 80s.
Yeah.
There was one site in Maryland that still occasionally runs what they call Phocon, which is, you get to play Photon for 3 days basically.
Right.
I don't know if that's still a thing because like the equipment is really fucking old now.
Our City played it once. Our City played it once, and Trajan Scorpion may have. Yeah, you would have been my other guess.
Yeah, but the point being that like even people within the Geddon scene that have played it, like they would have in general lost their Photon site when they were 10 to 15 years old, unless they were very close to Laurel, Maryland, which had that Photon site that ran, I want to say, into the early 2000s, but don't quote me on that.
I think I remember R&T telling me about that site. I think it was him.
Yeah,
that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Right on. So I mean, yeah, that's where I suppose playing other game types has its advantage. And like, okay, so you guys more or less share the same sentiments as I do. Was that any form of laser tag or any form of laser force is likely to help some aspect of your Space Marines game, whether it's accuracy or resets or missiles or whatever, teamwork.
Obviously the corollary with that is like you have to actually be thinking, oh, I want to work on XYZ, and not just doing what I know I am especially guilty of in standard games in the very infrequent times when I play them. I do a lot of, not taking standard games seriously in any way, shape, or form. Like, right. I am, like I can't think of a standard game that I've played in the last, 20 years where I was actually, well, that's probably a little
like competitive fan, right?
Yeah. Where I was actually thinking, oh, I should work on XYZ, and that's just pure laziness,
right?
So yeah, I mean, you do have to go into those games with the mindset of, hey, I want to work on my accuracy, because my accuracy is shit. I want to work on my positioning and try to get hit less than X number of times in a game. I want to work on, just general arena knowledge / awareness. You have to go into the game with an idea. I mean, it's like anything. You don't go into a workout without an idea of what you want to do.
Right.
You know, oh, today's leg day. Cool, that's what I'm doing. Oh, today's cardio day. That's what I'm doing. Oh, today's arms. Whatever. You go into a workout with an idea of what you're going to do.
Right.
And that's basically the same thing that you need to go into any type of Laser Force game with if you're going to be working on something. You have to go into the game first going, I'm going to work on XYZ, and then actually try to work on XYZ.
As
Well, I
opposed
feel
to
like I kind of developed a new appreciation of it last year in Detroit because obviously we had been shut down for about almost 6 months by the time that tournament rolled around. So I was really fiending to play some laser tag by the time I got there. And in the couple of days run up to the tournament, I probably played, I don't know, maybe like 8 to 10 or a dozen standard games or something like that. And honestly, just for
you're here.
Oh no.
We've got you.
oh no,
Oh no.
oh no, there
Oh
it goes.
no.
We still have you.
Nope. Nope.
Get ready for foreheads, folks. Get ready.
Here we go.
If you see us cut to be right back, apologies. Hey Marcus, if you're still hanging around, it must be early there.
Why is my phone handling this better than his computer?
This is why we need subs, so that eventually we can buy DK a better computer. Once we fix my terrible webcam, it's shit. My face deserves better.
No, it doesn't.
Should we cut to be right back and see if we can find them, or should we'll just muddle through?
We can just muddle through. I mean, come on. We are back to now V1.
The OG.
Resupply, where the OG Steve-O and Than back at it without the interloper.
Without the interloper. The truth. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first. Troy, what's up, dog? Good to see you. Because
I'm sorry,
phone is broke.
DK's face just frozen right here. It's so good. It's just so. This is a meme just waiting to happen. So if somebody wants to, like, I don't know, screenshot
that. Yeah, please, someone
Yeah.
screenshot that. I just put the caption "feeling green?" ? Boom. Oh, that's confusing. Ignore the names that you can see there on screen, folks, because that's real confusing. Oh, wait, maybe did I put a... No, I haven't. I haven't created... I gotta create a scene where it's just me and you, because as it stands, it's named you, me, and it's named me, DK.
It just shows where I rate in the grand scheme of things, that there is no two-person scene that has you and me in it.
Well, it's because...
So, thanks, bro.
well, no, so the thought process was that you'd be too busy doing band shit. And me and DK don't have lives outside of streaming, so...
That's fair.
Troy said, it froze when I connected. I blame you, Troy. It's all you.
Yep.
Yeah. Motherfucker. So when he comes back, we can good. We can continue with the story. But yeah, like the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because we don't play much outside of Space Marines, and the only other thing that we do really play is D&D. And to be fair, we probably play more D&D than a lot of sites, because for whatever reason, a lot of sites decided that the game is broken in a bad way, which, I mean, it is broken, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, it does get me down a little bit when people decide not playing is better than playing something other than Space Marines. Yeah, it's sad, but it is what it is. At least we get to play.
Yeah, Yeah, it's true. Well, I think the part of the other problem on that is relatively self-inflicted because we have kind of built Space Five up as this amazing thing because it is like
Mm.
it is. I mean, players from not our system go, oh my god, this game is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Mm.
Like everybody and their dog that loves competitive laser tag loves Space Five.
Yeah.
So we have as a scene and on a per site basis in general have deified Space Five so much
There's this
to the
perfect game.
point. Yeah, it's this perfect game, and so when you can't play the perfect game, you're like, oh, stink.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna sit here and watch the scoreboard because that is more entertaining to me than playing something that's not Space Five.
Yeah.
So I think that that's one of those things that we a as a scene and as on a per site basis, like that's something that we need to do better about, not tearing down the other games so much. I mean, sure, SM5 will always be our perfect, beautiful angel. Like it is glorious, it is wonderful, it makes us all tingly in all of our special places. But we can't, tear down everything else as, oh, this game's useless to play if we because it's shit. I mean Space Marines 4,
It's fun.
honestly, I that game to me, that yes, that game is also broken as fuck, but a good Space Marines 4x3 or 4
Oh,
4
so
by 4
good.
when you just like when you just totally just up the chaos levels is fucking
Oh
fantastic.
yeah.
And to be fair on that, like I do have a bias to Space Marines 4x3 because that was actually the first league game that we ran in Sacramento. Actually, it gets so obviously going way back in the dark ages of 1997,
Yeah.
when Sacramento opened. Like, so I wasn't around for the first couple of leagues, but apparently um, they did actually try Space Five to start, and because it was like obviously nothing but new people at that point, and there wasn't anybody that could visit from another site and say, hey, this is how you do the thing, because in '97 in the U.S. there were only like 3 or 4 sites, and yeah, it was just not a good thing as far as that goes, as far as being able to teach stuff. So they played SM5 a few times. We're like, nope, and then started playing Space Marines 4 and was like, oh my god, this is the most amazing game ever. And that was Sacramento's league game for basically two years until DK's team of ragtag fugitives managed to take the first SM5 league in Sacramento because they figured out how to double before everybody else. That was hilarious.
The greatest discovery of mankind.
Ducky in the chat said that Al's random game days were awesome fun.
Yeah.
I think Than, you brought a version of that to Auckland. You used to play Than's random games.
Yes.
People like it.
Mostly because I hated you guys and wanted you to suffer.
I like it. Like, and it breaks people's whenever anyone hey Ethan, what's up? Whenever people log in, in Auckland, we're in a really bad habit of checking the computer, the login computer. And I know that, like, obviously at Nats, that's a big no-no. That doesn't happen. But I think even, like, Brisbane have more or less blocked the screen off from anybody logging in, which I think is great. Like, That's another way it trains you for Space Marines, because you shouldn't be looking at what the other team is. You should have to figure that out in game. Do you remember?
Steve, quick tech question. Am I actually still showing up on camera? Because on my phone, I'm a big black box right now.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah. Thances with Wolves are still with us.
Okay, no, it was just like when DK rejoined, suddenly Discord's like, you don't need to see your video feed. You are now just this black box in the corner. So I have no idea like what I'm actually showing people.
So we have me, green box, and black box. It's some good viewing.
All your favorites.
Is Thances still in bed? It's 2 p.m. He is, but it's not 2 p.m. where he is. It's almost.
It's about 8 p.m. where I am, and
it's almost time for loving.
Well, my wife has very kindly vacated the room so that I can do this. She's actually out on the back patio of the hotel talking to her family right now, because that's just how this has all gone. So yeah.
So I read it incorrectly. I think Hoodie didn't actually sub himself. He gifted a sub. He gifted a sub to Al, so that's even way cooler.
That's even better.
Yeah, what a legend.
What a guy.
Love the East Coast wave, Steve. I don't know what that means, man. What does that mean? Yeah, right on. So, do you remember what you were saying before, DK? Before you rudely just ditched us?
Yeah, I was saying it's really time for me to get a new camera that doesn't get all clunky and overclock my video card. But I think I was just saying that because it had been so long since I'd played and jumping into standard games, it kind of just was a reminder getting back to my roots. I'm like, oh yeah, actually these are pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like even standard Laser Force games are pretty fun. There's a lot of stuff to do. And as much as thing you might say, like when you log into a standard game or something like that, you don't take it as seriously. I feel like anytime I'm actually logged in as myself, like the competition, the competitive aspect, it gets going a little bit for me. I'm just like, no, this is going on some kind of record. I can't disgrace myself here. I have to try at least a little bit. I mean,
maybe this is going to go on your permanent record, young man.
I mean, maybe I don't beat up the 8-year-olds that bad, but I can't shame myself in front of them.
You don't want to be that guy who's like in there with the headband on, like, let's do this, little kids. And they come out crying to their parents after the game. What does gifting a sub do?
It's the same thing, except you're giving it to somebody else instead of yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what subs actually do for the most part. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Right now, I don't think it does much. I think it lets you have channel points.
It gives you the satisfaction of knowing
what
that you are
anything their DOMs tell them to. That's what subs do.
Good.
Episode 69. Nice.
I'm glad somebody else got to that one before
Nice.
I did.
It says I got Founder's Badge. What is that? Oh, cool. Did you sub as well, Troy?
Wow.
I'm going to have to go back and check all that.
Hey, look at all this interest we got going.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you guys are legends. Maybe it's you did. Oh, you're bloody, you guys, bloody good people, bloody hell. I'm going to have to learn.
That is definitely one thing about this community, but by and large, we do have a lot of really good people.
Shit, yeah.
By and large.
Hell yes.
We have a few. We have a few that we wish weren't in the community, and that's
Wang rods.
Yeah.
What does the sub money go to?
By and large, everybody's pretty.
I think everybody in chat right now is a cool dude.
You're cool dudes. Where does the money sub money go to? At the moment, don't know. It's probably the haircut for G&D. More elective surgery for old guy next door.
So as far as the money goes, if we're gonna pull the curtain back just a little bit. The reality is that Steve-O has actually fronted a semi-ridiculous amount of money over the years for things related to the resupply and getting the graphics done via Marco for this channel. So the reality is that in the initial, there's money that is basically going to go right to Steve-O to reimburse him for money that he has spent.
Honestly, I want to put like any sub money that we do, and we want to be upfront with people. Any sub money that we do get at the moment, I want to put towards a new decent webcam. That's the first next thing that I want to spend cash on, because I mean,
for me, right?
For you. Some suggestions we've had have been new hair color for DK's hair, or a hair transplant.
You don't have to pay me for that.
Hair transplant from neck to chin for Steve. Well, I assume that you meant me. Oakley produces some hilarious people, I gotta say. But yeah,
accurate.
I mean, I would like to get a new webcam at some point, and because mine's really grainy for some reason. Maybe some beers for Demi Hook for the hard work. I might have to shout him some beers for sure. Because the scoreboard does look pretty fantastic. But the more quality like equipment we can get for making like nicer content, I think the better it'll kind of turn out to be. Especially like if I can work out a way to make the Laser Force live streams nicer. That idea really excites me. The fact that we can kind of do that, and it's weird that we haven't done it prior to this. But we're all
the people demand more Reggie.
I'm gonna have to make some Reggie the Lion t-shirts at some point. But yeah, that's kind of where that'll be where the sub stuff goes, I think. Yeah, what were we talking about? I can't remember. New avatars for Laser Force.
Well, we were talking about how my computer shit the bed and how I was enjoying playing even some non-Space Marines games in Detroit.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically just that little bit extra arena time with how quirky that upstairs was really useful for knowing like which windows you could be hit through and all that. So I was really happy to get there just another day or two early to get some other standard games under my belt.
You were fiending.
That would probably be true. Oh, I was.
I couldn't believe it. You were like, yeah, it's nice to see you guys, but like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm playing laser tag as much as I can. I was like, okay, I'll see you later then. I was broken. When am I not broken?
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. And yeah,
100% accurate.
Had Auckland happen this year, that was one thing I was really looking forward to, was getting in a couple of days early, getting some more games under my belt. That was half the reason I wanted to be in the hotel right across the street, so I'd have easy access to come play some extra standard games.
So one cool thing, we weren't actually going to talk about this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway, because I think it was mostly the D&D crew, Al, Ducky, Hoodie, brought up during the week about we're in I think a relatively unique position in Auckland where we have two sites within fairly close proximity to each other, both of which have Gen 8 equipment, and they floated the idea of doing a cross-site tournament where you play half the week at one site and half the week at the other, and it's not necessarily Monday to Wednesday you play at this location, and then halfway through Wednesday to Friday you play at the other one. I think they were saying like running it simultaneously at both sites, and so if you have 12 teams, which was looking kind of likely, run concurrently. That's the word I'm looking for. If you have 12 teams or more than 12 teams, which is kind of how it was looking, you could potentially run a concurrent tournament at two separate sites. And the boys were saying that it would really show that year who was potentially the better team based on how they did across both sides. And that idea sound really awesome. I think the only thing is that that the other site, so we play at Laser Force Wairau, that's our main site, that's our home site. Game Over, which is an FEC up the road, which is where we stream from on Tuesday. Their maze is cool, but not. I wouldn't consider it super great for competitive Space Marines. Although we got to play 6v6.
That's unfortunately something that you're going to run into with most FEC type arenas. I mean, they are 100% designed for maximum gen pub fun. They are not designed in any way, shape, or form for any type of serious play. I mean, the Syracuse arena, if you don't cover all the cutouts that are in those walls, is a really shitty tournament arena.
Yeah.
You cover all the holes that are in the walls, and suddenly it becomes workable. You know, the middle of the arena is fucking AIDS, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
Hashtag pizza boxes for the win.
Well,
Hell yeah.
So Game Over kind of has a couple of areas that have windows that look through diagonally to... They're shots that would happen that would be not great.
Blind as fuck.
Yeah. Heathen says run it at Avondale. That tiny site 10 suit should work. I've been to so Heathen lives near another site in Auckland which runs Gen 7 equipment. Again, it's an FEC. It's ice skating rink decided that they needed to put a laser tag system in their offices upstairs that they weren't using. So
Okay.
and that site actually I think would be okay for Space Marines. Because there's no tiny shit windows, or there's a couple, but not massively. It is a kill box, so it's very fast, and things would probably go poorly in some cases. But I think their maze might be a little more conducive to playing Space Marines, but they have Gen 7, and I would hate to switch between the two. And also, that site is quite a ways away from the Wairau site. Whereas Game Over, just being up the road, actually makes it worth doing, because seriously, 5-minute drive between sites it's crazy. Almost have enough laser sites in Auckland for an Armageddon style tournament. You're not wrong. Hurry up and build up your site, Heathen. Get some more regulars, and we'll do an intercity tournament. But the idea really intrigued me, because I think with some tweaks, maybe you could potentially run some competitive play at the other site. I'll try and do a better walkthrough than what we were able to do on Tuesday next time we're over there, because I was connected to the Wi-Fi and apparently there's no signal at the back of the arena, as there often isn't. But yeah,
Shocking.
Yeah, great idea though. I thought that they had some really good points. That would be awesome thing to try. The other thing.
So the idea about the concurrently running tournament was actually something that was floated for Brisbane in 2018 as well.
Right.
Obviously that didn't happen. But I remember some of kind of the initial challenges. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad idea, but it does come with its own unique set of logistical challenges in trying to, keep everything on track between two sites. I mean, it would certainly be interesting. But yeah, the logistical challenges they're in it almost requires essentially two tournament coordinators that aren't playing, that are literally just tied to each site to do all all the things, and that becomes problematic within our community where we don't necessarily have the people that aren't going to be playing.
Jesse.
Yeah.
it's only Jesse. We do have we've got
that's its own set of problems.
we do have our own like our site owners would probably be capable of running WireOwl. Shawnee asked, what's an Armageddon style tournament? So Armageddon
Multiple systems.
Yeah, multiple systems. That's the best way
Multiple
to put
systems and multiple sites where you basically road trip in between them to play at different sites on different days. So you could, it might not be entirely Armageddon style if you did it, but it would be a multi-arena Laser Force tournament.
Yeah. So it would be, yes, it would be different from Armageddon in the way that we would only really be playing Force, which is the only system you need, kids. But yeah, it would be at multiple sites. There have been talks actually. I don't know how on the pulse your finger is, Heathen, but Heathen did say in the Discord this week that there's supposed to be another 2 sites opening, another one in Auckland and then one down in Tauranga. Which, if that's the case, like I would love to do a road trip down there. That'd be really cool. It's like 3 hours away, so easy.
That's not bad.
In sadder news, the Napier site in New Zealand is closing at the end of July. So if you're in New Zealand, if you're in Napier, go check them out before they close up. Yeah, sad.
The building got sold or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a voluntary closure.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. Oh, the building got sold, and apparently the new landlords want to take it a different direction.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
What are you gonna do?
Twice. Yeah. So, yeah, that idea really kind of excited me. So I don't know. Maybe one day when we can sort that out.
Maybe one day when we're allowed outdoors again.
Then we could go indoors to play laser tag.
That's really what I'm looking forward to the most.
So what was the other thing we were going to talk about?
So we were talking about other games and things like that. So we touched on Photon, I think, briefly. In terms of other non-Space Marines games, I think we kind of floated it with Marco when we had him on a little bit, but Color Conquest, I just happen to think is just a really fun game, and it's just an interesting twist on a lot of things. So that's certainly a game I don't mind playing, either if you don't have the numbers for Space Marines or you don't have the personnel you need for Space Marines, just as another kind of fun game. And it's something that's easy enough, actually, to introduce to Gen Pub. I went to one of the sites in Portland when I was visiting Oregon last summer, and I had unfortunately missed it. They had played a Gen Pub game, essentially, Color Conquest, the game before I got there, and they weren't playing again after that. I was really upset that I'd missed it. But the rules are simple enough. It's just you're playing a standard game, but as far as the Gen Pub's concerned, every now and again you change colors in the whole game. That's fun. That's new. Okay, cool. I'm gonna shoot these people now.
Yeah. Heathen, did you go to the Lunacy night last night? And if so, how many people turned up? Because I was talking to Lasers. The reason we played at the other side, and Botany, cool. The reason we played at Game Over last week is because Laser Force Wire had a bunch of bookings this week, which is awesome. They had a few really large groups through, and they obviously they feel bad that we can't play, but I've told them like the more bookings you take, the longer you'll stay open, and the more we'll get to play over time. So like, yeah, bump us if you need to. But
Correct.
The previous Lunacy, Heathen said in chat, it's like 75 people at Lunacy night.
What?
Yeah, which is awesome.
What?
Yeah. I haven't seen numbers like that here for a while. Granted, I don't go to a lot of Lunacy nights, but it's good. I'm glad. Hopefully, it's Laser Force or Laser Tag in general is getting a resurgence. That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
So the other game. No, sorry, you were saying.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, so that was 75 people for a lunacy at the Wire
At Wire, yeah.
location.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm literally trying to think that. I mean, so the entire time that I was there, those numbers were not ever anywhere close to that. I'm trying to even go back to Sacramento many years ago. Like, I don't think we ever had a lunacy that big.
Yeah.
Like, I think the most amount of people that we ever had in for lunacy may have been between 40 and 50, and that was only a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think we
mean,
might have cracked 50 for one of the Halloweens or New Year's.
Yeah, but I mean, if you guys are starting to consistently get, like those 40, 50, 60 plus
Yeah.
lunacy nights, that is an absolutely fantastic result, and quite honestly, your ownership team should be, congratulated for that, because we know the struggles that Auckland had with its
Previous ownership.
owner,
Yeah.
as far as even wanting people there playing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, that is absolutely a fantastic result.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe we're gonna have to go down and start recruiting.
Yeah.
Seems like.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get off my
It's
ass.
a good.
Spend too much time on the internet talking to you guys.
Yeah. Come on. Get on it, Steve. Remember when we started doing this in the first place was to spread the gospel of Laser Force to others.
That's right. How can we do that if we're preaching to the converted?
Exactly.
The owners push towards sports teams and schools, etc. That's the best way to do it, man. If you can bring large groups in, perfect. And then hopefully you get, 2 or 3 people from those groups that are friends that start coming to members nights or lunacy nights or whatever. The other thing I was going to talk to you about was the other forms of Space 5. And by that I mean, so obviously 6v6 is how you are supposed to play Space Marines 5. But
Accurate.
with there's been a lot of talk about how really the minimum you need is 5v5, and even then, if you've only got 10, it is sometimes people choose to not come to a members night, which is really a shame. And then
That to me is just insanity. From where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Go
What do you
to
mean?
Nights, you spoiled assholes.
You fucking Aucklanders with your
don't know how
7
good you have
sites. But yeah, is the last few weeks we've been playing a lot of 4v4, and I think in the past I was very remiss to play 4v4 myself, but after playing it for the last couple of weeks, it is, oh my god, Russ has turned up in chat. A wild Russ has appeared. And he says, an ad? If you don't want ads, feel free to subscribe to the Resupply.
Oof.
Fuck, what was this? Damn it, Russ!
4v4 space 5.
4v4. So if given the choice between 4v4 and no Laser Force, 4v4. That's what I choose every time.
That ain't even a question.
Russ said, I couldn't even hear what you said because I was watching an ad. Yeah, because we're working for the man now, man.
We gotta help Bezos make those Amazon bucks.
Shame, playing an SM5 shorthand is a great way to learn the game. You're exactly right, Ducky. Like we played some training drills actually, where we would have because there was a couple of weeks where we only had 7 turn up, and so we played drills where we had a heavy and a resup versus I think it was even versus a commander, a scout, and a resupply. And it's in some cases we just run drills of we'd fill up two scouts and a commander and have them attack a resup until either one team ran out of shots or the other team died. And yeah, it was a cool way to kind of run some drills and keep kind of in playing shape if you're having an off night where you don't have enough people. And I think that is much better than no Laser Force.
Absolutely.
No Laser Force
I'm
sucks.
glad you brought that up, because we did something similar for one of the leagues that we ran for LTC. I did have two kind of newer players who have now, I think, been to a couple Nats apiece, but were
Wow.
newer players at the time. And we started running some of those drills on off days where we could only get our team down. And we invited other teams to come practice, but nobody else did. So we were essentially running that, just throwing a commander, 2 scouts against a heavy and the resupplies, and then just had 2 other dummy vests down there to fill up the commanders and scouts so we could do it again and just run some drills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think you do learn things. If
For
nothing
sure.
else, you learn, like, okay, don't attack by yourself, because they know it's only going to be 3 people on the other team or something like that. They'll be able to pick you off one at a time if that's how you're going about it. And you get that kind of communication going in different ways.
Yeah. Russ
Oh, I
said,
saw a green flag.
yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
That means it's the countdown has started.
Russ said all that practice and still lost that league.
Yep. Accurate.
Yeah, you're right. If you could run those drills, like, it's such a better use of time than just not playing lasers. But there are people that prefer not to come down if if you only have 9, then call. If you have 9, call me, but otherwise don't call me. So just come down anyway, man. Come down and play. Come down and hang out with friends. Yeah, because if you can run drills, friends. If you can run football friends, if you can run drills where you can work on like communication stuff, that's huge. Because that's a lot of times stuff that doesn't get touched on when you're just playing regular 6v6. Unless, you're one of us and then you're probably yelling at someone. Hey, Than.
Pretty much.
That's how we teach.
Well, and the other interesting thing you could do
it
if
fucking
you had
worked, didn't
It
it?
sure did. It absolutely
tell
did.
you with results is that if you have
Asterisks.
4v4, you can actually run different versions of it too. You could run commander heavy and resupply, or you could run 2 scouts and resupply, and everybody is a 1-hit, which is also kind of an interesting variation that you can do too. So you can just do different things. We're getting very paranoid over here.
Every time that green flash comes up, I'm being conditioned.
Oh, trust me, I'm right there with you.
Just ignore the green flash, kids.
Seriously.
I could try resetting my camera if you want to go to a 2-minute
Hell
break.
no. Hell no. No, we'll muddle through. If you cut off, then...
I'll see everybody next week. I love you guys.
Ducky says, talk quicker, DK.
I still don't understand why my phone is handling this better than your computer.
It's not the computer, it's the webcam. There's some kind of disconnect that's with it, because that's the only thing that's caused it to shit the bed like this.
Subscribe now if you'd like to see better quality footage from Fireball DK and Guy Next Door. One Dances with Wolves seems to be okay on his cellular telephone. Cool. Blame the equipment. That's pretty much what I do at Laser Force.
Plan.
Yeah. Than, did you have anything to add to that?
I mean, not really, and then I'm probably going to talk here for another, like 5 minutes because I do that.
I got nothing, but
No, I mean, it is important getting the game time, and the small-sided games really do give you the better opportunity to work on things that maybe are a little more specific to some of the communication and to some of the positioning, because you can go into a small-sided game like that and go and if you know off the jump, okay, we're drilling, we're training, whatever, like it's a lot easier to, when you see somebody completely fuck something up, to basically just call a pause within that and be like, you stupid dumb fuck, why the fuck did you do that? And then explain to them every fucking thing that they just did wrong, but be able to do it in that moment, because part of the challenge of trying to help people improve is trying to fix their mistakes when they happen, as opposed to having to get to the end of the game
And then it being
go,
hazy.
hey, yeah, it's like, hey, do you remember when this, and this happened? And I mean, even when you're used to kind of like doing a mental replay of the game, that's difficult. Like there's a lot happening, and sometimes you're like, no, I don't fucking remember like where when that happened. So sometimes trying to ask a newer player to do that is nigh on impossible. Being able to actually like just kind of call that pause in a small sided game and be able to immediately break down, okay, you just got shat on. This is why you just got shat on. This happened, then this happened, and being able to kind of explain the chain of events within like within a very short time frame of it actually happening, so it's still fresh in their head. And hopefully it sinks in. Whether or not it does is a whole other question, because it is a complex game and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of not weird interactions between the positions, but there's a lot of pieces that go here and there with things. Yeah, I mean, it's if you've got the opportunity. I mean, obviously, yeah, it sucks if you only got 7 or 8 people. You want to have more people to play a better quality game, but yeah, don't. I guess the moral of the story, kids, is don't underestimate the power of a small-sided game to help your overall skill level improve. There, yep. I had nothing and talked for about a minute and a half. Go me.
Hoodlum subscribed at tier 1. You're a bloody legend, Hoodlum. Hang on, you got an emote thanks to Hoodlum's subscribe. I'm gonna thank him.
All right.
So Twitch have a bunch of Pride emotes this month, which is kind of cool. So if somebody gifts emotes, then unlock some Pride ones, which is really cool. I have these fancy ones. I'm just gonna play with my emotes for a minute.
This is making sure you're doing that on your own time.
Well, no, I get paid to do it here.
Yes, thanks to Alan Hoodie.
Yeah. Russ has posted a link to the stats website. I would very much like to have him on shortly and talk about some of the updates to the stats website, because I know there's been a few.
True.
We might have to find a time that works for you, Russ, if you're interested. There's a big
on right now, so clearly my time zone works just fine for him.
Maybe his camera will work better than yours.
No doubt.
Clicking things is fun.
It's a very, very low bar.
Lol, it's Rona. I'm always available. Right, so we've been going about an hour and a half. Would you guys like to say anything else on this, our 69th episode? Nice.
Boobies are amazing.
Nice. What are?
Boobies.
I mean, you heard it.
Seemed like the appropriate time to say that.
You heard it here
Really.
first, folks.
This is the hottest of takes that is possibly in the history of the resupply.
Hot snakes coming at you. All right. Well, look. That's probably good then for this week. We don't have a stream tomorrow. The next one will be on Tuesday, New Zealand time. Assuming that YRL Laser Force is able to be streamed from, because I haven't tried it there. We'll give it a go. I'm not sure if I'm actually playing, so maybe I'll be able to do like commentary all night. Because I don't want to pop a stitch.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is a very fair thing.
Wi-Fi is crap there, but I think I can't remember how the cell phone signal is inside the mains. I think it's also shit. We'll give it a test.
It's a massive cement building.
Yeah.
Signal in that building is going to suck the fattest of dicks.
Yeah, we'll give it a go. I would love to do the stream there on a weekly basis because I think, especially, it gives our European audience the opportunity to actually watch and do something in real time rather than watching the VOD for the streams. Yeah, so we'll see how we go on Tuesday. Thursday, we got Thunderdome Thursday starting, assuming I don't go to hospital or something. And then we'll be back next weekend with the Resupply and D&D stream. So 1,000 more subs, you can upgrade the Wi-Fi for them. That's exactly right. Maybe we need to start a Patreon, and we'll put that as one of the goals. Hashtag Steve-O's problems again. Yeah, Steve-O's always in the hospital. All right, cool. Well, for this week, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've occasionally been DK when I haven't had technical problems. Don't forget, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, to give us that like on Twitch. Throw us some love. See you next week. And
I've been Than.
This is with wolves.
Who's been on vacation. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I'm not that cool. I was not gonna play into your stupid little reindeer games anymore.
Too late. Mute. All right. Yeah, always remember to backtrack, kids. We will see you next week.
peace.
Where's the button? Where's the button?
Oh no!